So I thought to myself, how do I show you this watch collection? And in fact, I have to come back. Hold on. Good morning. Well, I say good morning, but as it turns out, I've been busy and I wasn't able to shoot it this morning, but it's around lunchtime. Also, the light was diffused and a little better earlier, so it's my fault. Anyway, we have direct sunshine now, and I wanted to present to you, in my opinion, one of the best watch collections in the world. What you're about to see is literally the best collection of wristwatches, the most curated, the most flexible and flexing watch collection ever shown on YouTube. So I thought, how do I do that? So I thought presentation is very good and is important. And I thought inside this bag, it houses the most impressive wristwatches ever. And I thought, this is how I'm going to have to start off this video. So in a moment, I'm going to come over, grab that camera and spin things around so you can see them. So I shall do that now. So before I open this bag of mystery, let's see what the best collection ever looks like. Look at that. And I'm going to take it over to the table so that you can see what I'm doing here. In fact, let me see if I can arrange this so it looks a little better. Okay, I'll do that now. My opportunity to shoot this really was this morning. I've got direct light now, and it's going to come. So we're going to have this shadow, but the watches might look good the way I'm going to present them. So I'm going to do that right now. So yeah, let's see how this goes. So here is the unboxing. So I don't know how this will look, but hopefully you can see every piece there. Now remember, this is of course only my opinion, but here you have, in my opinion, the best watch collection ever. So perhaps I'm a little biased. Okay. Some of these boxes, you can flip them round, so that's why they look like that. And a couple of others, the one in the top left corner there, he won't do that. So actually, let's start in the top left corner. So here, and yeah, that box is going to blow away. So I'm going to put him over there. But let's start with Mr. Frog. Now, I videoed this recently, and I've been looking at this watch for, well, even before it was released. I think I looked at G Central, and the minute I saw the build spec, the titanium case, and this high quality rubber strap that's articulated at the lugs, and the fact that you can remove the pins, the strap pins, by pressing the actuator there, and then the sapphire back that actually, why don't I see if I can do that right now? In the sunshine, that sapphire back will produce its logo in reflection. I might not have the surface to do it, but on another, yeah, but I will come back to that, because in the right sunshine, you can project the frog onto the table by directing the sunshine like that. It's very cool. In fact, you can just about see the frog there. So if I hold that up, that is a sapphire caseback. And I believe that it's sapphire like that, so that the radio antenna is more able to function. But look at that. Now, this is an odd watch because, you know, it's a little big, it's asymmetric, It's a very bold kind of a watch. Not everybody will like it, but for me, being a GShock fan and liking the Frogman anyway, this watch is, if you are a GShock Frogman fan, is probably a grail watch actually. These are not cheap, and they're, you know, I suppose the build quality and the specification, you know, indicates that. In the hand, the watch is absolutely super. I won't go the functions now because I haven't even fully explored them yet myself anyway. I know that if I press the top left, it'll put the hands into a position that clear the dial, and depending on what's going on during the day, they'll either appear in that position or they'll appear up here. And I think after a certain length of time, yeah, they'll go back to the correct time. So that is the Frogman. Now, I didn't know why I started off with the Frogman, but because it's a little bit different, because I think you might see a theme in this collection, the theme being that 1970s design seems to be where all the inspiration came for the design of these watches. So why don't I start with 1970s, as in the Casiotron here. Look at that. Now this has caused a ruckus. It's caused such conversation in the watch community, and I consider this Casiotron my perhaps biggest hype watch, and one of my most this is my biggest flex watch right now, believe it or not. I really like it for all sorts of reasons. I'll come back to that, but I've thought to myself, why don't I start mechanical? Because it seems crazy to have these two mechanical watches down at the bottom there being very quiet, and I absolutely love the design and love this thing. Recently, Omega, in fact yesterday or the day before, released a white dial man on the moon Speedmaster, and I thought that dial needs to go into the Mark II case like this. So it's basically the reverse dial of this, and it's going to look so good. So imagine, so if I plop in a picture of the white dial moon watch right now, and if you compare it to this, so imagine that dial in this case and bracelet, how good is that going to look? It's going to look so good. And it's worth me doing a video on that all by itself. Anyway, the reason this orange dial, racing dial version of the Mark II, is when I wear this, and when I think about, you know, having this on my wrist like this, I literally think to myself, I can't really imagine wearing another mechanical watch that I prefer over this. This feels like a grail watch. I look at that, the orange hue there in the sunshine. That is such a cool bit of design engineering. Not a design engineering, a design aspect. But look at that. Look how cool that is. But wearing this, it's the most pleasing mechanical watch I think I've ever worn, mainly because it's you know, it's a chronograph, and I like chronographs. But there is something about that case, the chunky case, the bracelet, the 3-link, well made, nicely, you know, it aesthetically looks so good, the way it joins the non-lug cushion case there. I like it so much. I really hope I've got the sun on it to its best there. But look at that. I mean, I'm wearing this now thinking I'm going to wear this later because I like it so much. But let me put the black dial on once again, because I know some people prefer the black dial, this one, and I like it as well. Of course I do. But the racing dial here, the grey and orange, I probably prefer because of the colour. But saying that, because what I am interested in is how in years to come I'm going to feel about these watches, and will I all of a sudden start wearing this in preference? And I'm so curious to know if that will happen, because it certainly might happen. Once again, I keep thinking, what if they put a white dial inside this case? A Speedmaster Mark II white dial. How cool would that be? Because of course the white dial has that flick of red on it. And I think these two, plus the Mark II with a white dial, wouldn't that be the Speedmaster Mark II collection to have? Anyway, so I started off with the Frog, then to the mechanical Omega Speedmaster. Now you can see here some heavy hitters. So let's go over to this gold section, because I'm pulling out one of my favourite squares here. I keep thinking, is this my favourite square? And then I think, hold on, I've got the MRG and the Porter there, so I have to be careful. But for some reason, this gold TFG has provided so much fun and enjoyment. I find it very hard to think to myself, this isn't my favourite Square G-Shock. Number one, it's loud because of its size. Number two, it's a digital. And number three, it's gold. Each of those things makes it controversial and also makes it perhaps not desirable. But I think this is one of the most desirable G-Shock squares you can get your hands on. And I think I featured this in other videos. And I always wear it when I'm wanting to impress myself. Obviously not anybody else, but I always wear this to impress me. So I find that very strange. I honestly do, and you know, one or two people don't like it, but some people do like it, or at least they claim that they like it. Anyway, right now I've got the black dial version, GD-9, on this rubber band. And I've got the Color rubber band for this, because G-Shock actually only produced the rubber band for the Color limited edition model. And it's actually a perfect colour match to the GD-9, so that's why I've got this strap. And of course it fits perfectly. And I thought the black dial with the black band, you know, is what I thought. This is such a nice colour combination. And yeah, I do like that. And of course in sunshine it looks so lovely. Look at that. So that's you know, when I'm in the mood, I shall put the bracelet on like that, and I do like it. What a nice thing to have. Now the other gold, of course, is the Cornflake, and since I got this, I haven't worn it too much, and I don't really know why, because it's not that I don't like it, because I do like it. The feel of it is different to the polished steel. The Cornflake recrystallize effect does feel like ceramic and cement and stony. It does have a nice feel. Now there is a contrast between the bracelet and the case. For some reason I don't mind that, because the colouring of all the links in the bracelet seems uniform. Because I know that some of them have the links can change colour also, and that's to do with the manufacturing process. Also, apparently the Cornflake recrystallize effect does harden the surface of the material, and that might be why the watch, I think, is a couple of grams heavier than its steel counterparts. I don't know, but there is still something I like, and of course this is part of the 40th anniversary collection, and I haven't seen G-Shock talk about or release any other Cornflakes, because of course I have the silver Cornflake here with the negative display, and I thought that was an interesting decision, because when I first learnt of that, I thought, well, why don't they make the the silver Cornflake with a positive display like the original 5000D, but they didn't. They offered it with the black with the negative display there. Now, the same thing happened with this. When I wore it, and I seem to wear this with grey jeans and a grey t-shirt, but of course it's going to look so good wearing black. But you know, I do like this as well. And once again, we've got that colour difference between the bracelet and the case. But once again, the bracelet is uniform in its colour change. And once again, for the same reason that I liked the gold version, I like the silver version. And this is the reason that I started to appreciate negative displays. And from this model forward, I now quite like negative displays. I never really gravitated towards them, but I do now, and it's because of the silver Cornflake. And I thought to myself, if I end up keeping the Cornflakes and not wearing them, I thought, still, you know, what a collectible, nice thing. And I'm sure that when these are out of production and you can't buy them anymore, that's when they're going to be very collectible. So, you know, I was really happy to have seen these and to have held these and show them like this. I do like them. And then we get on to the Darth Vader light, because of course this is the G-1, and it actually comes on a rubber strap. I took that rubber strap off and put the GD-1 bracelet on, so the colour match is the same. And of course this is a lot like the Porter, but the Porter is DLC, and I think I've said in other videos that the colour differences are real. This has a silvery gunmetal hue, where the G here is definitely black. And the black sometimes is what I really go for when I choose this watch. Now, because it has the positive display, that's what drew it to me. But today I keep thinking, hold on, I really should have the negative dial version of this. You know, the full Darth Vader, this being the Darth Vader light, really. But when I wear, because of the colouring, because it doesn't have a splash of red or a splash of colour on it, we just have this contrasting grey silverish colouring, beige, grey, silver colourish detail. And it grew on me, and I thought, I really like the colouring here. I like the fact that it doesn't have a splash of red. It has this more muted, stylish colour. And so this has really grown on me. And sometimes I do choose this over the others because of its very black, polished, black hue. That the colour of this is the very thing that makes me choose it over the others. And I suppose what I should do is link that to the Porter, because here, once again, we've got one of the I think the GShock Square collectors, you know, grail of all grails. Now, of course, when this was released, it came in a Porter bag, hence its nickname, the Porter. What I love about so I'm a fan. I'm a person that doesn't like collaborations, but I don't mind it when a product is released like this and they shove it into a bag. And you know, so it is a collaboration, but the Porter bag, none of that information is on this watch. This watch is true to itself, and it is a straightforward metallized version of the original D5000. Was it DW5000? It has the thin red line, the blue text for its water depth, and it has the gold touch on the dial. And of course it was released for the 35th celebration of GShock, and they DLC'd the case and bracelet. And each time I wear this, I think, wow, I really like that. And but it is different to the Darth Vader. Believe it or not, I know it looks very similar. The colouring of this changes the way it feels on the wrist. And of course the G-Shock and protection is actually more of a white It's more profound on the Porter. So these watches have become different things. I definitely choose just the plain black one over the Porter sometimes, because I don't want the colour on the dial of the Porter. Anyway, I mean, these are very nice problems to have, but this is for many Square fans, you know, a real grail stainless steel full metal Square. You know, this is at the very top of the pecking order, and I really like it. I do, and I won't attempt to put it back on its quilt on its little cushion thing, because on camera I'll never get it on. Now this brings us over to the black MRG. So let me take that cushion away, and I won't try and get that back on. Now the MRG, I suppose I should have done the frog and then the MRG Square. I don't suppose it matters, but of course this has the shimmering thin red line, and look at that, and the gold detail on the dial, and then the gold detail of the screw heads, the push buttons, and the case back. So this is a real flex watch. Actually, I haven't got to the Casiotron. That is my flex watch. But look at that. If you are you know, in the direction of wanting nothing but quality, build quality, 80s style design and heritage, you know, the MRG Square is where you go. And this is the DLC black version, and it's really special. I think I don't have to tell people that like metal squares that this is a nice thing. And that takes us to, I suppose, almost the last watch here. The stainless steel shimmering thin red line, and initially I chose the silver one over the black one, because even though I liked both at the same time, and I really liked both, I thought, hold on, I only need the silver one. But getting the silver one made me think, you know, this is terrible. The black one, you know, is needed as well. But look at that. Every time I wear this, I always notice the way it feels, the quality feel of it, the shimmering silver red line, and also the text matches the case. And I love the brushed aesthetic and not polished. So, but the bezel it's half polished. I would call it not a very polished, but it's obviously polished more than the case, but the bezel, this bit here, is half polished. It is much shinier than the case, and of course all the screw heads that are actually individual items, they're all polished. So this is one that if I had to choose of the titanium MRG squares, this is the one that I would choose. Again, such a fabulous watch, really, and you can probably see in the background there, I've probably got those nicely together there. So yeah, let's get to the very last best watch on the planet right now, and that is the Casiotron. And when I opened this, I thought it's too small, and perhaps you know, it's outdated. It's too outdated. But when I had the strap fit sized, and I put it on my wrist like that, and I stood back, I thought, no, this is the coolest thing ever, because very quickly I got used to the size. Now it's not really the case size, because I think the wingspan here is 41 millimeters, but it's the display size, because if I pull up the full metal, you can see that the LCD, the digital display, is larger here, even though the case isn't much bigger than this. So it's actually the display that gives this an appearance of looking a little bit smaller, but in actual fact it's not really that much smaller. But then I thought, hold on, I'm used to wearing these big chunky watches, so I'm dispositioned, you know, to have, you know, larger watches on anyway. And so I suppose I'm a large watch person. But there's something about this Casiotron, there's something about the fact it really, you know, it's so close to the design of the one released in 74. I love the fact it's, you know, it's a 50-year-old design once again. And I love the fact it was released on the 29th of February, which was the leap year date this year. But wearing it, I thought, actually, I'm going to wear this more and more than I realise. Now, there's one other reason why I like this watch, and I will have to do another video, I think, on it, because my voice is seizing up, and I just felt a blob of rain on my head there. But yeah, I wanted to end with the Casiotron because it's so cool, and I wanted to quickly show you the best watch collection in the world, the most highly curated watch collection in the world, and you know, I think these are the best watches, and I think this is the best watch collection ever, and I wanted to share it with you. Anyway, anyway, it's just my silly opinion, but there you go. This is, and these are, the best watches in the world, and whoever wears these watches is so cool. And you know, just having these means you're flexing, and you know, people like it. And you know, how cool. Anyway, there you go. I do hope everyone is well, and speak again very soon.